Hi guys, a very good morning, good evening to all of you. I welcome all of you once again on this session where we will be discussing common errors. And in this session, we are going to discuss some questions based on common errors which will be of difficult level, right? So today's session will be about difficult level questions. What kind of difficult level questions do come in these common errors common errors segment in any of the competitive exam you appear for? Okay, we have already discussed easy level and medium level and also some very important common errors in theoretical part. If you haven't watched or seen that session, I would request you to first see that session and then get to this part of the common errors. Okay, so what are common errors? Common errors which are in form of a punctuation mark, small little grammatical errors, verb forms, noun, singular, plural errors. These are some of the common errors, right? So in today's session, we'll be discussing all of this. Okay, so we have a set of questions here which will be very important while we discuss these kinds of questions. So let's see what is the direction for today's session. So this direction, this instruction says question number 1 to 30. In each question, there are 4 sentences or parts of sentence that form a paragraph. Okay, the sentences will be a part of a paragraph. Now we have to identify the sentence or sentences or parts or part of sentences or sentence that is or are correct. Okay, we have to find the correct ones in terms of grammar and usage. Then choose the most appropriate option. Okay, let's see what kind of question pattern do we have here. So the first question says automobile engineers at the IIT Kanpur have built the world's fastest automatic car. It is capable of sustaining 50 km speed per second. The automobile department announced the breakthrough by Monday. The computer will be used to help maintain its route and speed. This new car will bring revolution worldwide. So we have 4 sentences here, and you see in these sentences, when you read mm, sentence A, right? Automobile engineers at the IIT Kanpur have built the world's fastest automatic car. It somewhat seems really good and appropriate. No grammatical error seen. Second sentence says it is capable of sustaining 50 kilometers speed of per second. This will be proper answer. Okay, then next question says, next sentence is the automobile department announced the breakthrough by Monday. The computer will be used to help maintain its route and speed. Not the computer, there's no particular computer which is going to help them maintain the route and speed, but actually any computer they will be using for will help it, right? In general, a device, computer as a device will help. Now, this new car will bring revolution worldwide. This new car will be a revolution worldwide. Okay? Not bring. So, the only correct sentence is sentence A. And we have that in option A, B, C, D in option B. So, hence, option B is my correct answer for question number 1. I hope you understood the pattern, how you have to identify and choose the most appropriate option. Let's move to the next question. Authenticity for corporate governance is a distinctly this century's concept made relevant by a conflux of factors. The public's trust of large companies is an imbue. Consumers media savvy have pulled back the wizard's curtain on insincere marketing gimmicks that are only surface sexy reality TV and online social role and avatars have redefined our sense of reality, bringing the question of what is real into mainstream dialogue. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds time so that you actually try and come to a conclusion that which part of the sentence is correct and incorrect and which of the options we should go with. So not by not taking much time, just try to get to a conclusion whether you see we are capable of seeing any grammatical error or not here. Okay, now I'll tell you the answer to this question. According to all the sentences given here, the answer is option number D, which means sentence B, C, and D are appropriate. There is just one small little error in sentence A. Authenticity for corporate governance is distinctly this century's concept, not distinctly or distinctly this century. Okay. So this is inappropriate here. Other than that, all the sentences are correct. Next question. Hiring executives in the hospitality industry are likely to be impressed by the similar type of soft skills that are in demand at every industry. Candidate who convincingly display characteristics such as leadership, teamwork, conflict management, problem solving, innovation, and good communication skills are always going to have an edge in the hiring process. 30 seconds time, not more than that. Okay. You see, hiring executives in the hospitality industry are likely to be impressed by the similar type of soft skills that are in demand in every industry, not at every industry. Candidate who convincingly display characteristics such as leadership, teamwork, conflict management, problem solving, innovation, and good communication skills. Candidate who convincingly display characteristics is always going to have an edge in the hiring process. We are talking about candidate, and this verb is used for candidate and not the skills which are being discussed here. Okay. So the correct answer is option number D, which means sentence B is incorrect, D is incorrect. A and C are correct answers. Next question. Habits are conical. We reach for them mindlessly, relaxing into the unconscious comfort of familiar routine. Not choice but habit rules the unreflecting herd. William Wordsworth says in one of his greatest fiction, in the ever-changing 21st century, the word habit has negative connotation. You see, in this sentence, in the whole sentence, if I talk about all the sentences, I can only see one error, which is not at all grammatical. It is only and only error where I can see there is an opening uh, quotation mark here, but there's no closing quotation mark here. So sentence A, B, C, and for grammatically, if I read sentence D, that is also correct and appropriate. But only because there's a punctuation error, we have to, count it as an erroneous part. Hence, the correct answer to this question will be option number A, where A, B, C is correct. Next question. Over the last decade, college graduates ages 20, 20, 45 who make up an increasing large portion of the population have stopped listening FM 10 times faster than non-graduates. Today they listen to 10 hours and 30 minutes of FM a week, while their peers without degrees listen to 20 hours and 45 minutes weekly. In part, it's the nature of the work that people do, Mr. Rajesh said. Okay, now take 30 seconds time and try and analyze first on your own what could be the answer. The moment you read this sentence, over the last decade, college graduates age 20 to 45, not ages, right? Whereas while their peers without degrees listen to 20 hours and 45 minutes weekly. No, in a week, on an average, in a week, not weekly. This is not a habit. Okay, so D and A has an error, which means A and B and C are grammatically correct, and option number A has B and C. Next question. One of my interesting things over the world of stand-up comedy is that there's justice. Perfect, quick, almost 100% accurate justice. Unlike with almost every other media form, a public does not make blunders when it comes to stand-up comedians. It knows when it's got hold of a really great one. And at 32, Kapil Sharma is a really greater one. Okay, now, first thing first, you see, when we read sentence A, one of always takes plural noun and singular verb, which is correct. Grammatically, it's correct. But where is the error? One of the interesting things, not my interesting things. You're talking in general. This passage is talking in general. This passage is not indicating possession with anyone. Okay, it is talking in general. Similarly, it knows when it's got hold of a really great one. Got hold of really a great one, not a really great one, really a great one. Okay, again, Kapil Sharma is really a greater one. So D has an error, which according to me again is answer B and C correct, and that is in option number D. Next question. iPhone 4.0 users will be able to download new applications via the iPhone app store, which will launch with the new phone, but those pioneers won't get the greater speed of true global positioning due to hardware issues. The older phone triangulates users' position via cell phone towers. The new one has a GPS receiver that can track a user in minimal time. Where does the error lie? Try to figure it out. So they are going to launch something, right? iPhone 4.0 users will be able to download new application via iPhone app, which will be launched with the new phone, and hence option B has an error, whereas A, C and D is correct. According to that, the answer will be option number A. Next question. During periods of major change, corporate leaders are under immense pressure from investors, board members, clients, and the government to deliver result and to do it fast. Because of the need for speed, it tends to shortcut the process that is critical for employee engagement. But organizations change only if people change. So, how an organization helps its people to transition will directly affect corporate outcomes. Take 30 seconds time and quickly come to a conclusion which of the following has any grammatical error or not. Okay, so here you see the sentence A says during periods of major change, corporate leaders are under immense pressure. Immense pressure from whom? From investors, not from investors, right? From investors, first thing. Then, process that is critical for employee engagement, but organizations change only if people change. So, an organization helps its people helps, it's people. Transition is appropriate. People to transition not required. It's people transition will directly affect corporate outcomes. So A and D has an error, whereas B and C are appropriate, and according to that, option B is the answer. Next question. The grass began to sprout as the rains have now set in. The rain has ceased yesterday. I saw a little vexed at having failed. The kittens cuddled up together for warmth. Okay. So I think all questions, all options are correct. Over here, I can just say that it should be I was a little vexed. I was a little vexed at having failed. And according to that, option number D is the appropriate answer. Next question. Tell me whether you will return soon. Okay. Tell me whether you will return soon. Men work because they may earn a living. I am trying to recollect our first meeting of introduction. One of his sons is a lawyer. Okay, this doesn't seem like a paragraph, of course, but we will, treat them individually. You see the first sentence. Tell me whether you will soon return, as if someone is asking, right? Soon should be placed before return to modify it correctly. Okay, before, so that it modifies it appropriately, not after. In sentence B, you see men work because they may earn a living. Men work to because they may. This whole thing is not appropriate. Men work to earn a living. This as simple as that. I am trying to recollect our first meeting of introduction. Our first meeting has itself implied that it was the first meeting. So need not use of introduction. This is not required. One of his sons is a lawyer. One of carried with plural subject and singular verb appropriate. So according to this, only D is correct. So option number A makes the answer for question number 10. Next question. The priest will arrive just now. He prefers editing to directing. I heard that she is not very polite. The boat was beginning to drown fast. In this set of question, if you just read sentence D, the boat was, it says, beginning to drown fast. The boat was, in this you see, to drown is incorrect. The boat was beginning to drive fast, not drown. Okay. So option number C is the option number C is the correct answer because only D is incorrect. Next, there are 2 8 in this number. I went to bed as I was feeling tired. 15th August 1947, India got its freedom. No, it is not late. Let's check this out as well. If I read each and every sentence appropriately, I will only see that there is an error in A. There are 2 8s in this number. There are 2 8s in this number and not 2 8 in this number, right? Whereas B, C, D is appropriate and hence B makes the correct answer. I like him better than she do. Okay. First of all, let's read all the sentence first. The rural poor has been ignored by the ministers. My sister is less patient than my brother. We were supposed leaving early. Okay, just read it once and see whether you are able to understand or not, come to a conclusion or not. Okay. So the question says, the very first thing which I came across while reading only was that I like him better than she does and not do. Why is that so? She is singular third person and it should be taking verb form does, not do. Verb form 5 does, right? Not do. Sentence B seems appropriate. Sentence C even seems appropriate. D says we were supposed leaving early. Uh, we were supposed to leave early. This is appropriate, right? So A and D is incorrect and B and C is correct. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. The woman ran on catching the bus. The woman ran to catch the bus. See, very simple yet very important errors. These are very common, but they're very, very important to figure this out. Okay. He did cry in the party. Okay. In the sentence, where did first form of verb should be used. Okay. So he did cry will not be appropriate. Usually, it should be when did form of verb is used, it should be did cry and not did cried. Okay, this is correct. I think he did cry. Okay. Again, sentence C. The student reads. The student who reads the fastest will finish first. Next sentence says she certainly drove slow in that rugged road. She drove slow on, not in, on, right? So I can see B and C are only A and D is inappropriate, whereas B and C is correct. So I will have to go with two options here, A also and C also, right? B also and C also. Next. He calls his son as often as possible. It really doesn't want this. I really doesn't want this. And the next is lately he couldn't seem to be on time for anything. They heartily endorse the new brand. Okay. So first question is in this sentence you see I will always take don't and not doesn't. So I really don't want this. I really don't want this is the only sentence which is inappropriate, whereas correct answer is A, B, and no, A, C, and D. Option A, right? Option A is the correct answer. Next question. He had many trouble. He had many. When many comes, it should be troubles and not trouble. This option is ruled out. Next, India and Pakistan have been quarreling from a century. He was fascinated by and enamored of this prudent woman. Fascinated by, enamored of. Okay, quite an appropriate usage. The children were interested by and disguised in the movie. Interested by and disguised in. The children's were interested in and disguised by the movie, which means A and D are inappropriate, B and C is appropriate. So the correct answer is C. Next question. The time we added 6 times the amount of cleanser, Baptist, Methodists, uh, Presbyterians are the prevalent Protestant congregation in Oklahoma. Much students want to study abroad. Many orange has fallen by September. Definitely, many always takes. First of all, many should be placed in place of uh, much. Not much students. Not adverb of quantity. Adverb of number. Many students and many an orange. Not a orange. It should be an orange, right? Baptist, Methodists, Presbyterians are, till here it's correct, so far so good, are the prevalent Protestant congregation, right? So what should it be? There has to be, don't you think there should be a comma? These are, after R it should be, or it should just be Baptist, Methodists and Presbyterians are the prevalent Protestants. There should be and in between, not comma here. Okay. So the only sentence is correct, which is correct, is option number B, A only. Next question. Rohan plays basketball well and his favorite sport is badminton. It is hard to say whether Atif Aslam and Arjit Singh is the more interesting singing icon of this day. Live free or die. That is neither what I said or what I meant. Okay. So the correct answer here will be sentence A. When you read, you see it says Rohit plays basket well and comma and his favorite sport is badminton. So here comes a wrong conjunction and it should be yet his favorite sport is badminton. Okay. Next sentence is it is hard to say whether Atif Aslam and Arjit Singh, you're comparing. So for comparison, you should use or. Live free. Live free. Not or die. It should be live free or die. Okay, live, either you live free or you die. Okay, somewhat correct. This is neither what I said nor what I meant. Not or. So the only correct sentence is option number C. Option number D. Next question. He is not the only Commonwealth Games athlete in his family, so are his sister, father, and his uncle Rakesh. Either you win this race or lose it, doesn't matter as long as you do your best. Unless we act now, all is lost. He took to the stage even though he had been preparing for this moment all his life. Now, where does the error lie? The error in two parts, I can see only in the two parts of the sentence, which is he is, you see, he is not only Commonwealth Games athlete in his family, so are his sister, father, and his uncle Rakesh. Not his uncle Rakesh, comma his uncle Rakesh is inappropriate here. Then comes sentence A. He took to the stage is inappropriate. He took the stage even though he had been preparing for this moment all his life. Okay. D and E are inappropriate. Correct answer is option number C, which has B and C. Next question. Our picnic was such a grand experience. Our picnic was such a grand experience. Okay, correct. 3/4 of the respondents reported that half the medication was sufficient. Okay. What an idiot he was. What an idiot he was. This bus holds 3 times passengers as that minivan. Hmm. Comparing, right? So the correct answer would be this bus holds 3 times the passengers, 3 times the passengers as that minivan. So option number C, D inappropriate, A and B is correct, which is in option number B. Next question. These muffins are delicious. Sounds correct and very well, right? These muffins are delicious. He seemed to say whichever came to mind. She seems whichever, as we are talking about living thing. Not whichever, actually we are talking about living person, no? Whatever came to mind. Kanika, Akash and I have deceived ourselves into believing in my aunt. I already told my parents what I know about it. So I think option sentence A appropriate, C appropriate, D appropriate. The only error is in option number B, and hence according to that the correct answer is option number A. Next. The truck demolished the orphanage. Get out of town. I requested her to be present at the meeting. She suggested that we be on time tomorrow. Okay, very simple ones, isn't it? Quite simple options given here. The truck demolished the orphanage. Demolished. Okay. Now you see, get out of town. This is an expression of exclamation, not question mark. I requested her to be present at the meeting, which is correct. He suggested that we shall be on time tomorrow. Okay, so the correct answer is only C. Next, Shreya prefers to swim. Shreya prefers to swim rather than jogging in the evening. Okay, Shreya prefers to swim rather than to jog in the evening. Scarcely had he entered the room, the student stood up and greeted. He has made a fairly hot coffee. He was decent enough to admit his mistake and apologize for it. Okay, so this is appropriate, and because BCD is appropriate, we have an option B here, which is correct. Next, I have often told him to write neatly. Generally, his lectures are very interesting. This library has hardly any good books on English grammar. His father scolded Raj for driving very fast. Hmm. Okay. I have often told him to write neatly. Generally, his lectures are very interesting. This library has hardly any good books on English grammar. His father scolded Raj for driving very fast. All of these sentences are appropriate. Correct answer is option number C, which says A, B, C, and D. Next, whom whom were you talking to just now? Neither of these novels are any good to me. They were no guilty than we were. Neither his friends nor his parents were able to help him. Okay. Now in this question you see, when you read sentence A, whom were you talking to? Don't you think whom should be using question mark? Right? So this is appropriate. Neither of these novels are any good to me. Neither always takes singular verb, right? Neither of these novels is any good to me. And these two sentences are correct. Hence, answer is option number D. Next question. The road was lined with stress just like Japan. I cannot open the drawer in which my father put the paper in. I am so exhausted that I can scarcely keep eyes open. Let you and I see to it we do not make such mistakes. Interesting. Now you see, sentence A says the road was lined with stress, just like just like in Japan. Correct. Whereas I cannot open the drawer in which my father put the paper in. I'm so exhausted that I can scarcely keep eyes open. Let you and I see it that we do not make such mistakes is appropriate. And hence option A is the correct answer. Next question. A weeks are a long time to wait for gift. Okay, basically trying to say that a week is a long time to wait for gift. Isn't it? So week is singular noun and will always take a singular verb. A weeks is a long time to wait for gift. Such rules do not apply to you and I. She cannot jog as fast as me. None of these girls read so well, very well. All the sentences are correct except option A. Hence, our correct answer is option number D. Next question. Some of the boys are misbehaving. I wonder whether your scheme will work out or not. Everyone applauded when Rehan rendered the song melodiously. The train, which is usually on time, came late yesterday. Okay. Take 30 seconds time and try and understand, figure out. Which part has an error here? So based on this, I think there is no error, right? So the correct answer to the question is option number B. Next. Each one of the actors in the movie require a special being of dict. Being of. Okay. So each one followed by plural noun followed by singular verb requires. He is one of the best footballers who have ever played. Hmm. He is one of the best footballer who have ever played. Okay, Akansha did not take cooking classes, she taught herself. His house is bigger than those of his friends and relatives. So D and A definitely has an error. The correct answer is B and C. B correct answer. Next question. None of us liked the food. Okay. My friend, a novelist, has sent me 2 short novels of her asking me to go through them. It is our positive thinking. It is our positive thinking that which makes it is our positive thinking which makes life more interesting and important to us. Very well done. You, Rajesh, and I. Okay. You, Rajesh, and I must take the blame for losing the match. Okay. Whenever there is something negative, and there are three persons involved, first, second, third person. So we will always put which person. If there's something negative, you will always put first person first. Sorry, I, you, and Rajesh. First, second, third should be the sequence. First, second, third means first person, second person, third person. Whereas, if this would have been a positive sentence, we would have gone with this flow 2 3 1. Now, what is 2 3 1? 2 3 1 is second person is you, third person can be anyone, he, she, you, and the first person I. Okay. Sentence positive or any praiseworthy topic being talked about, this sequence, and anything negative, this sequence. So the error is in option number D. Hence A, B, C is correct. D, I think C makes our correct answer. C is the correct answer to the following question. Okay. So these were some of the common errors which we discussed, and this was these were some of the questions where we discussed common errors from easy level to medium level to difficult level. And I hope you enjoyed learning a lot of common errors in these sessions throughout, and you will definitely be able to find out these common errors if asked in the exam. So you have to have an open eye where you can actually see and you can understand and conclude why you are selecting any incorrect answer, what kind of grammatical or punctuation error is that. Okay. So do not go with the flow always. Sentences will always have errors. Always think that there